Okay, I think this is it. Are we live? Let's see. Okay, I think we are. All right. Welcome to the Powerful Comics Man podcast. Okay, so what's up? I am with Rod Babaran of Ken. Grabe, if you haven't heard of Ken yet, check out Spotify. Ano yung pangalan niya sa Spotify? Sa ano? Ken, 'di ba? Ken.
Yeah, KN.
Pero basta just search in case kasi madaming lumalabas pag nag-search ka ng Ken eh, 'di ba? So parang just look for the synth group, pop synth group na trio, one girl and two guys. And yun, that's Ken. Check out their music. Super favorite ko yung mga bagong kanta nila. So, and also check out their Facebook page. Okay, so this is the Powerful Comics Man podcast. If you are new to this show, yan. Okay, so you can see us now. If you are new to this show, this show is streaming live on Facebook, and also um ngayon hindi nagkakaroon kami ng problema. It's not streaming on YouTube right now, but usually it does until I figure it out kung anong problema. And also the audio will be uploaded later on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So check out the Powerful Comics Man podcast on all of those platforms. And yun, discover Pinoy podcasts. And basta ang daming nagsusulputan ng mga Pinoy podcast right now, especially kasi ang daming, especially naging lockdown, di ba? Ang daming mga live streams. So it's great. And yun ang naging bagong normal ngayon eh, di ba? Rod?
Yeah.
Ang daming mga nangyayari na dati. I don't know. I don't know if I like it, pero hopefully, let's see. Okay, so please help us share this stream. Share lang natin. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things. Rod is a anesthesiologist, no?
Yes.
He,
Resident.
yeah, he is a frontliner. So, an actual frontliner against COVID-19. And we're gonna hear a lot of stories, at least in his perspective, his own experiences during the
Yeah.
outbreak. And let's see, I'm sure madami tayong matututunan from Rod. And yan, let's see. So this show is also brought to you by by Mutual Lux Cakes pala. Mutual Lux Cakes, and you can find Mutual Lux Cakes on Instagram. And eto, may mga monster cookies and cakes, tin cookies, tin cakes, mga ganyan. And donuts din. I don't know kung available yung donuts right now during the lockdown. Kasi mahirap mag-transport eh. Pero just message us at hello.miuccia. That's at HELLO.MIUCCIA. Tingnan nyo muna if you're just listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Check out the Instagram page of Miuccia, and you'll see yung mga, para makita nyo yung products. And basta it's something else. This is basta the best yan, the best. The best. I am biased but it's true, yun ang lagi sinasabi. Anyway, so during the lockdown era, natawag ko na to,
Lockdown.
every episode that I'm doing right now are dedicated to people like Rod, the frontliners. I don't know. I don't know if this means anything, but it's just my way to show that I appreciate their efforts, and they're at the back of
Yes.
our minds. Okay, when and we're all hoping for the best for them and to everyone, di ba?
For
So
all Filipinos and
yeah,
all lahat worldwide.
humankind,
Yeah,
di
humankind.
ba? Hindi ano eh, it's
It's a pandemic eh.
ibang klase talaga to eh. Ibang klase
Mhm.
talaga tong inabot natin na to sa ano eh, itong COVID-19 na to. And I don't know, it happened to in our lifetime, 'di ba? So that's one thing. I don't know if that's a good thing na naranasan natin. But I don't know. Let's talk about it some more later. But for now, let's just do the OBB and then we'll get it on with Rod. All right. Time for Comics Man podcast.
Or maybe may sound system. Can't hear the audio.
Welcome to the Powerful Comics Man podcast. Okay, so I am with Rod Babaran of Ken. What's up, Doc?
All's
So,
good,
musta?
all's good. Okay lang. Glad to be back to this show.
Oo nga eh.
Uh, okay naman. Alive and kicking.
So, like I said earlier, si Rod is a registered ano ang title? Anong sinabi mo kanina?
I'm a resident anesthesiologist. So basically, I'm a doctor and like who trains in anesthesiology, and I'm on my first year. Yes. So basically, anesthesiologists are the doctors who keep the patients in stable in physiologic conditions kapag inooperahan. So, example, you get appendectomy. Kami yung
Mhm.
mag-i-induce, kami yung magbibigay ng anesthesia, we control yung airway if ever na
Mhm.
general anesthesia yung binigay natin. And also, uh, we manage the pain post-operatively. So, yun.
Yeah. Pag ba under anesthesia ka, is it parang automatic ba, parang induced coma 'yon? O iba naman 'yon?
Um, well, technically, yes. Technically,
Okay.
yes. It's an induced in coma kasi when you say comatose ka, you have um you have yung function ng ano yung function ng other organs intact except for the brain,
Mhm.
diba? Parang unresponsive ka sa pain stimuli usually kapag nakoma ka.
Mhm.
So basically you're just breathing pero wala kang malay. Sa
Oo.
anesthesia ganun din. Basically we cut off yung communication ng pain receptors mo to the brain. And may mga phases kasi yung anesthesia eh. You have
Mhm.
to consider yung consciousness niya, yung mobility niya, yung kung ano yung sensation, kung ano yung nararamdaman niya. So those are all aspects na kailangan um, part of giving balanced anesthesia.
Okay. So, teka, pag-usapan mo natin yung anesthesiology, no? 'Di ba parang
Okay.
yung mga so bakit kailangang meron pang separate? 'Di ba? I know this might be a stupid question, 'di ba? Pero
Yeah.
to
So
somebody na hindi ano, bakit kailangan pang may anesthesiologist? But hindi na lang yung doktor mismo yung, kasi parang to a regular person like me, parang
mhm.
ito magtuturukan lang naman yan eh, parang gano'n. Bakit hindi
Well,
ba kaya ng doktor na siya na lang magturok? Parang ganun.
ah, okay. Yung prime na, I would say prime, pero yung one of the kumbaga offices namin, it would be the operating room. So kapag
Mhm.
may surgery, there's this surgery going on, whatever the surgery. Yung
Mhm.
surgeon is obligated na mag-focus dun sa surgery niya. So who keeps the patients alive while being operated? Yun yung anesthesiologist. So
Oh.
our job is to maintain patient stability all throughout the operation. Walang mangyayari sa kanya, blood loss, hindi siya hindi siya mawawalan ng masyadong dugo. If ever na heavy in blood loss namin, we make sure na replace siya promptly. Um,
Oh.
in consciousness, other than pain, we also take care of the entire yung vital functions ng patient. Yung respiration niya, kami nagpapahinga niyan kapag inoperate.
So
Depende sa
ibig sabihin present din talaga lagi yung anesthesiologist during the operation, during the
yeah, hindi
surgery.
pwedeng mag-proceed ang isang surgery without an anesthesiologist.
You stay beside
Yeah,
the
patient.
doctor. Oh, okay.
Usually, I stay at the top. Yung normal setup namin, nandito ako sa bandang ulo na ng patient. So the patient's head is right in front of me.
Mhm.
Tapos I have the patient hooked sa mga monitors. Sa likod ko,
Oh.
anesthesia machine. So, tapos nakikita ko lahat ng mga functions niya dun sa mga monitors. Tapos, syempre, binabantayan ko rin yung pasyente visually. May
Mhm.
clinical side pa kasi yun. So,
Ah, is it
yes,
nangyayari ba yung parang during in the middle of the operation parang biglang napapansin mo parang mukhang nagre-respond sa pain yung pasyente tapos naka anesthesia? Pwede bang
um,
mangyari?
there are different types of anesthesia kasi. Wait lang, disclaimer muna, I'm
Mm.
not teaching anything.
Mm.
Hindi ako, hindi, yeah, yeah. I'm not,
No.
hindi ko, one is I don't represent any hospital, no affiliation for this purposes, for this
Okay.
show's purpose. I'm not a specialist on COVID. I do not, um, I'm not giving out any sort of treatment.
Yeah.
Lahat to, sinishare ko lang yung experiences ko.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pag
so
nanood
we're
pag nanood kayo nito, hindi ibig sabihin anesthesiologist ka na o doktor ka na. Parang ganun.
uh, so these are things that I have learned din myself. Para
Yeah.
syempre, training. So
Mm.
the purpose of training is to make sure na yung private practice mo in the future, hindi ka problema dun.
Mhm.
So you have all the concepts and theories in your head as
Mhm.
well as yung physical and yung practical aspect na you have the skills to handle airways, to give anesthesia, to
Mhm.
intubate, lahat yun. So basically, lahat ng hindi masyadong familiar sa anesthesia, they would only know na parang sila yung at most risk for developing um, COVID kasi kami yung nag-i-intubate. Well,
Mm.
the thing is, hindi lang kami yung nag-i-intubate.
Ano ibig
Intubation is
sabihin
a
nun?
skill.
Okay, okay. What's intubation?
Intubation is the process of gaining access to directly to yung respiratory
Oh,
yung,
okay.
yung larynx natin. So
Okay.
basically, you're
Mhm.
inserting a tube from the mouth, depende kung orotracheal siya um,
Mhm.
or nasotracheal. Meron different tubes for that.
Okay.
Anyway, so pag nag-intubate ka, um, you're inserting a plastic na bendable na uh, tube
Parang
diretso from the outside.
parang
It's like a
catheter ba 'yan?
catheter.
Okay, okay.
It's like a catheter but it's bigger. Basically yun.
Oh.
Same concept.
Okay.
Tapos i-hook mo sa machine kasi sa COVID um, it's important to have mechanical ventilators para hindi na exhaust yung lungs.
Mhm.
Yung respiratory muscles kasi once na nag-start na fatigue yung respiratory muscles especially kapag dyspneic, ang bilis na huminga,
Okay.
nahihirapan, nag-develop ng acidosis eh. So basically, nagko-compromise na yung oxygenation. That's when you develop problems.
Yun yung nakakabit sa ventilator, 'di ba? Yung tubo na yun para
Yes.
okay.
Endotracheal tube. Yeah.
mag-umpisa muna tayo sa ano, sa simula, simula. No? So,
Alright.
'di ba? So this is your first year. You said this is your first year to practice. First year na practice mo sa doctor ba talaga ganun?
No, no, no. This is my first year of training anesthesiology. I am a
Okay.
graduate may license na ako. I'm a licensed doctor. Ito yung first year of training ko sa this particular field.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
it has been
okay.
4 months. 4 months in, 5 months, 5 months today.
Okay. So ang tanong ko is 'di ba parang so when you signed up to study medicine and become a
Mm-hmm.
doctor, parang kasi parang how naisip mo ba na during your lifetime this yung possibility ng pandemic would occur? Parang ganun, or was it putya ka na, ito na, this is here we go, parang ganun, 'di ba? So
Well,
when you realize that the pandemic is really eto na yun, ano
mhm.
how did it feel?
Well, it didn't feel anything new kasi I was aware naman ako na pandemics occur. I mean, intervals lang yan. It's eventually bound to occur.
Mhm.
Most of pandemics kasi start from gene mutations, usually single point or mutations na nangyayari from one type of animal tapos nagja-jump siya ng species. Kaya siya nakakaabot sa atin.
Mhm.
Usually, parang may intermediate na species pa siya. Hindi siya direkta, like in the case of COVID. I think from a bat to a pangolin tapos sa humans, 'di ba? Yun
Mhm.
yung transmission nung nakuha yung COVID.
Mhm.
Anyway, um, I was saying, sorry, I got lost. Ano ulit yung pinag-uusapan natin?
When you realized that kumbaga parang shit's really gonna
Yeah,
go down, 'di ba?
it's bound to occur. Kasi yun nga, it's parang not sure not sure on the
Mhm.
statistics, pero 4 to 10 years nagkakaroon talaga ng
Mhm.
ng mutation sa mga virus. So example, parang previously SARS, tapos
Mhm.
ngayon there's a novel corona. Ito, first major pandemic, pero yung nakakatakot yung Spanish flu na nangyari noong 1912.
Yeah.
Parang it wiped out millions of people.
Mhm.
Grabe talaga yung case fatality rate nun.
Mhm. And I think the
So,
measures that we're doing right now, many of them we've learned from that
yeah, we learn
event, 'di
from our
ba?
past mistakes.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, pero nung were you parang during medicine school, yun ba tawag doon? Ano ba siya?
Medical school.
Parang ano siya? Parang pine-prepare ba kayo na na parang ito yung is this the parang pinakang parang kumbaga parang how would I describe it? Kumbaga parang I don't want to say worst case scenario of being a
Mhm.
doctor ang pwedeng or kumbaga ito na ba yun parang biggest na hurdle na pwedeng mangyari sa buhay ng isang doktor is parang
Well,
ganyan ba yun?
siguro, I don't speak for all, pero hindi naman sa hurdle, pero ito yung time of obligation mo eh. Kasi it's a pandemic.
Mhm.
Parang, you're a doctor by your vacation, pero ito yung parang, okay, wartime tong pandemic. Parang,
Oh, nga eh.
kasi parang, kailangan ka eh. Ito yung time na kailangan ka, kahit delikado.
Mm.
Siyempre, parang, all of us don't want the extra risk, pero we have to do it because it's our job.
Mm. Parang did it parang occur to you na parang nung nag-start ka mong mag-practice or nung estudyante ka pa lang, mapapasabak ka pala sa pandemic na ganyan.
Well, yeah. At one point, siyempre, para magkakaroon naman kasi talaga ng pandemic. And dahil ito yung parang vocation na pinili mo, eventually, there will come the time na parang papatawagin ka na because you have to
Yeah.
fulfill your duty.
Yeah. So now they're referring to all medical professionals as frontliners, 'di ba? And usually frontliners para sa mga giyera 'yun eh, 'di ba? Yun yung term na ginagamit sa
Well,
giyera. And right now
it's just
it's
a
really a
term naman
giyera.
siya.
Oh.
It's just a term parang sinasabi mo na kasi ikaw yung direct from patient to your face, di ba?
Mm.
So, personal, tapos patient. So, ang laki talaga ng chance. Kumbaga, in this war, it's a pandemic.
Mm.
And yung basically, yung disease nandyan sa patient. So, therefore,
Mm-hmm.
you are in the front lines.
Yeah. How was your first
Regardless
day?
kung nurse ka.
How was your first day, parang nung first day of duty mo during the COVID?
Ah, first day was okay lang eh. Okay lang. Actually, mas mas hassle ngayon kasi dumadami talaga yung cases.
Mm-hmm.
Nung first few duties ko, nung nag-start yung lockdown, I usually had siguro mga twice or thrice lang ako pinapababa for intubation. Ngayon, dun sa last duty ko, mga 5 times ako bumaba for intubation.
Can you tell us which hospital you working at?
Um, I'm a first year resident on sa DOCART, DOH CART. It's a acronym for Consortium of Anesthesiology Residents Training. So basically, sa this is how training works kasi. So basically, meron kang specialty.
Mm-hmm.
You apply as a resident. You
Mm-hmm.
train for depending on somewhere between 3 to 5 years. Tapos you finish that training, you take your diplomate exam. Tapos yun yung tinatawag na consultant ka na. So you can practice. Pwede ka magsariling practice. You can establish your own private practice. Tapos tawagin ka na sa mga hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So again, going back to residency training.
Mm-hmm.
Yung unique sa DOCART namin is we have more than one base hospital. So our base hospitals is Jose, Philippine Orthopedic Center, Fabella, and Valenzuela Medical Center. So currently, I am at Valenzuela Medical Center.
Okay. So may mga COVID patients talaga na dinadala doon?
Mostly suspects. We're not a yung parang PGH tsaka RITM na
Okay.
parang dalahan talaga ng COVID positive. Like if
Yeah.
we have positive patients, we still encourage them to go directly dun sa hospital
Mm-hmm.
I'm not speaking pala for the hospital, sorry.
Okay.
Hindi ko alam kung ano yung protocol namin, pero sa may as anesthesia, um, we only handle yung patients ng hospital.
Okay. Okay. So, grabe, no? Kasi I'm just really amazed on how all of a sudden we are living our normal lives, 'di ba? Tapos eto nandito tayo ngayon lockdown, and then I could imagine how it is for the people like you, ng mga doktor na na kayo yung humaharap mismo, and lockdown na pag-uwi. So, paano yan? Paano yung duties mo pala? Ngayon, nasa bahay ka, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Diba? Tapos, kumbaga, ano yung may breaks ba kayo?
Well,
Paano
yes.
yung...
Sa ngayon, we try to limit yung exposure namin sa hospital. So normally kasi, meron kaming tinatawag na pre-duties. So yan yung time na papasok ka from, let's say, 7 to 4. Mga
Mhm.
ganun. Typical of office hours, yun yung pre-duty namin. So when we say duty naman, that's when we go to our 24-hour shift. Tapos the next day, yun yung from status namin. Ibig sabihin, you're off from the rest of the day.
Okay.
So normally, pre-duty tapos from. So sunod-sunod lang yun. Ngayon, we go on duties every 4 days para lang malimit yung hospital exposure natin. So
How did...
every four,
Okay. How
yeah,
did
for
the... sige. Go ahead.
sorry. How did what? Okay, go
Hindi,
ahead.
how did the pandemic change yung yung normal sa sa hospital, sa
Well,
'di ba, anong mga changes na nangyari?
well, yung changes is nagkaroon kami ng separate ward for COVID. Kasi it's a infectious case eh. It's an highly infectious disease.
Mhm.
Yung chances of yung one person who has this disease to pass it to yung R naught niya tinatawag is 2. So for every one person na may na COVID positive, i-transmit niya yun sa dalawang tao. So magkakaroon ng dalawa. So it being an infectious case, kailangan na talaga namin siya i-isolate. So yung obviously yung attire namin sa hospital, especially kapag nag-intubate, level 4 lagi. Ang sobrang init na PPE, hindi ka makahinga.
Oo nga
In
eh.
N95, yeah, it's really hard. Just walking a few steps can make you breathless. So, ganun siya ka, ano. Tapos talagang dripping ka ng sweat sa loob. Kasi syempre, mainit yung Philippines, tapos ang init pa ng suit.
Ayun,
So, you have to
paano
you have
suot
to
mo?
adjust to those conditions.
Naka-brief ka na lang sa loob. Ganun ba yun?
Hindi eh. I wish. I wish kasi sobrang init talaga sa loob. We have four up to 4 layers on, normally tatlo. I have my scrub suits sa pinakadoob, tapos may isang gown kami na uh, yung ino-autoclave namin after. Tapos
Mhm.
yun yung level 4 na namin nagamit na hazmat.
Hmm.
So that's 3, tapos may raincoat pa.
Raincoat.
Yeah, para may maiwasan yung aerosol formation. Tsaka yung droplets.
How,
Talagang dinidiscard namin after every use.
talaga? So, kumbaga parang disposable talaga yung mga PPEs na yun.
Kailangan kasi if we don't dispose them, may chance pa na ma-transmit mo sa ibang
Oo.
tao.
It defeats the purpose, no?
Yeah.
Oo nga. Paano yung paghinga
Also,
nyo?
you have to be really wary din sa pagdoff mo ng pagtanggal mo ng equipment because pwedeng doon ka pa magkaroon ng contact. Like example, parang yung kamay mo, malinis na. Tapos nahawakan mo yung isang section na hindi na may virus pala.
May
Tapos
virus
na
pala.
hawakan mo yung mukha mo, whatever.
Does it scare
So,
you? Does it scare you that these things could happen and then eventually there's a possibility na ikaw pa yung makahawa dun sa mga
well, of
mahal mo
course,
sa
we're all
buhay, di ba?
human. We all experience fear na
Mhm.
syempre we don't want you're not in sa ganitong line of work because of the risk, di ba? Syempre,
Yeah.
it's really risky. So
Mhm.
you just have to as long as mabibigay naman yung proper na protection, at least minimize natin yung risk ng ma-transmit.
Yeah.
That's good enough for us.
Uh, how do you feel every time you hear news about parang yung mga doktor, mga nurses who
Mhm.
getting infected, mga ganyan?
Well, for me, iniisip ko what went wrong.
Okay.
So, ano yung bakit siya nakakuha ng infection? Mali ba yung paggamit niya ng PPE? Wasn't he wearing enough protection? Um, ano ba yung likely circumstance or ano yung context dun sa story na yun? Basically, I have to
Okay.
consider that first.
Yeah. Well, kasi meron kasing mga ibang hospitals na yung mga makeshift na PPE lang yung gamit nila eh.
Well, um, hindi kasi to preserve yung number of available uh, equipment namin tsaka syempre to lessen yung wastage ng resources namin.
Mhm.
Nagbibigay kami ng priority sa paggamit ng PPE. Like for those who are in the COVID ward, mas pataas yung level of protection nila compared dun sa tao na sa clean ward naman na hindi mo naman
Mm.
expect na magkaroon ng COVID patients dun. Um, Likewise, kapag nasa office, nag-step down kami ng level of PPE para minamatch lang namin yung sa situation para hindi sayang sa resources. Kasi very
Sabagay, no?
valuable yun. Hirap procure,
Oo nga eh.
especially yung mga N95.
Do you have enough? Do you have enough sa ano nyo?
We have, I would say we have enough for the moment. Kasi
Mm.
may mga kind people and very caring um, citizens na nagdo-donate ng mga PPE, food, and so we appreciate it very much.
Oo nga, no? Nakita ko yung ano eh, may sinend ka sa akin photo. Nakita ko yung parang astronaut na halos yung ano eh,
Yeah,
bulkiness nung nung
yeah, yun
PPEs nyo
yung
eh.
yan yung ginagamit namin in case na may call kami sa baba for
Ikaw
possible
ba yung ikaw
intubation
ba yung isa
or
doon? Ikaw ba yung isa doon? Doon sa photo
isa
na
sa
o ikaw yung kumuha?
I was in the photo. Ako
Ah,
yun,
okay.
ako yung yeah.
Grabe. Can you teka, mag-hi muna tayo dun sa mga nanonood. Si Tin, nanonood. Hi, Tin.
Hey, what's up, Din?
And
Happy
also,
duty.
and also Joyce. Tin is also a part of Ken. Isa sa mga singers ng Ken together with Rod. Tapos si ano pala kumakanta rin no? Si Edsel.
Yeah,
So fellow frontliners. So mabuhay ka Tin and also Edsel. So yeah, ano yung tinatanong ko kanina? Nalimutan ko. So yung what's yun, nalimutan ko yung tinatanong ko.
experiences
Ano?
of being a frontliner before
Yung
intubation. Ito
ayun,
may
yun. Sige ko. Mamaya na yung
um
tanong ko.
yeah. Sa hospital, after namin mag-intubate ng each patient, you're required na mag-disinfect. May disinfection area, tapos may proper disrobing area, tapos may kailangan maghugas. And after every step, you have to take a bath. So, kapag toxic talaga sa hospital, like maraming call sa baba, makakaligo ka ng mga somewhere between 4 to 7 times dun sa
Talaga.
buong 20. Yeah. So, ang hassle doon, pag madaling araw na yung call,
Mm,
lamig pa ng tubig,
mm.
sakit sa katawan.
Ilan ang dala mong ilan ang dala mong damit pag nandun?
Um, I started bringing clothes na para 4 pairs, pero recently nagkukulang na yun, so I bring uh, anywhere between 5 to 7 sets per duty.
Talaga, grabe no.
Mhm.
Gaano
Tapos
katagal
after nun,
gaano katagal ang isang treatment pag may dinala? How long does it take usually?
uh, us being in anesthesiology, hindi kami technically nagtitreat. We just binibigay lang namin yung kay nire-refer nila. So example, this patient is referred in for intubation or for expected cesarean delivery. Kami magbibigay ng anesthesia or
Teka,
kami
nasira yung
mag-intubate.
audio.
Pero other than that, we
Teka, ulitin mo, nasira yung audio. Sorry.
okay.
Nasira yung audio nung nagsasalita ka eh.
Talaga? Sige, okay,
Oo.
okay lang. Where
Sige.
was I?
Ah, yung tiyan, nalimutan ko ulit. Yung intubation, 'di ba? Pag yung ginagawa nyo.
Intubation.
Oo.
Yeah. Uh, yung skill ng intubation, hindi lang yung limited sa mga anesthesiologist. As long as
Okay.
doctor ka, um, you can perform intubation as long as you know the skill. You know the skill. Uh,
Mm.
yun yung basically may laryngoscope ka. It involves lalagay mo yung laryngoscope sa bunganga. Then you use that blade na para i-lift yung uh, throat para makita mo yung airway.
Mm-mm.
That's the time na maglalagay ka ng plastic na tube
Yeah.
na mahuhook mo from the trachea to the machine para
Mm.
ma-secure mo yung pagbigay ng hangin sa baga. Yeah.
Ang sabi masakit daw 'yun eh. Kumbaga pa kaya
Um,
'di ba? 'Yun ang sinasabi pag sinaksakan ka nung tubo na 'yun.
yeah, that's why usually nire-refer sa anesthesia kasi before na ini-intubate namin, we make sure the patient is sedated tapos nagbibigay din kami ng neuromuscular blocker. So medyo paralyzed sila, hindi sila um, combative dun sa process.
Oh,
Usually dun sa binibigay naming sedative, um, meron siyang retrograde amnesia. So basically, mawawala yung memory na in-intubate ka para hindi siya mag-form ng traumatic experience.
mm. Oo. Meron akong nabasa, correct me if totoo ba 'yon or not. Kasi yung
Mhm.
nabasa ang mangyayari daw sa isang COVID patient. So after getting the virus and then you show the symptoms na. So well, you have COVID na. So ang mangyayari napupuno ng tubig yung ng fluids yung lungs mo, 'di ba? Parang ganun yung sinabi dun sa parang infographic. So after napupuno na siya, probably that's the reason kaya hindi ka parang babawasan na yung capacity ng lungs mo for air. So nahihirapan ka ng huminga. Tapos ang
Well,
kaya kailangan nung tubo para help you breathe na para makaya mong ma-absorb nung katawan mo yung oxygen, 'di ba?
Yep.
Tapos kaya kailangan mo ng
So
tubo. So ang mangyayari ngayon, isa-sedate ka tapos nakadapa ka lang kasi since wala pang gamot, parang the process is actually just relying on your natural antibodies to defeat the virus kung kaya. Parang ganun yung pagkaintindi ko ha. Pero pag hihintayin mo yun, that could take weeks or yung iba days lang pero it could take weeks na nakadapa ka lang na ganun para mas hindi labored yung lungs mo. Is that accurate?
well, in a nutshell, that's correct. Yung viral changes, yung once na-infect ka ng virus, it can cause inflammation. So it's a type of pneumonia.
Mhm.
Pneumonia is basically infection of the lung parenchyma,
Mhm.
or basically infection of the lungs. So it doesn't say kung anong specific na microorganism yung nag-cause ng pneumonia. It just says the may pneumonia. So
Mhm.
basically, dahil may pneumonia siya, there's damage sa lungs. Pwedeng inflammation leads to edema, tapos nagkakaroon ng fluid dun sa lungs, katulad dun nga sa show na nabasa mo.
Mhm.
Pero yun, sa COVID kasi, um, all of these occur in variable patterns. Yung parang iba-iba yung um, itsura per patient. Pero yung typical na nakikita daw on X-ray is yung in CT scan is yung ground glass na opacities.
Ano
Normally
'yun?
nawala doon.
Anong
Parang yun yung siguro yun yung fluid na nag-iipon. Yung
Mhm.
parang nag-create ng parang ground glass appearance on CT scan.
Okay.
So, yun yung nangyayari. Tapos yung sinasabi mong nakadapa, that's prone positioning.
Mhm.
Ang ginagawa noon is um, yung posterior aspect of the lung kasi medyo curved siya patalikod. So there are more space dun sa likod rather than sa harapan. So
Mhm.
if may fluid dun sa lungs tapos nakadapa ka, yung dependent portion mo would be anterior. Tapos yung sa likod may free space para mag-expand yung lungs mo.
Mm. So totoo 'yun and it could take weeks at times. Depende
Lahat ng
sa
sinabi dun sa video na yon, lahat yung supportive treatment. Ibig sabihin, you're just you're just supporting the patient's ability to heal. So basically, wala ka naman talagang ginagawa. Minamanage mo lang talaga yung symptoms niya. Example, nahihirapan siyang huminga kasi uh, labored yung breathing niya. We intubate the patient tapos hook the patient on mechanical ventilation.
Mhm.
Tapos i-position natin siya pronely para hindi siya mahirapan. Pero other than that, you're not giving any cure. Parang you're just allowing your body or giving your body enough time para mag-recover on its own to develop antibodies.
Grabe no. Buti kaya ng ano. Ah, eto pala, isang tanong ko, parang meron akong if you can answer this, no? Meron akong nabasa about syempre you read about COVID, 'di ba? And kung ano nung
Mhm.
babasa mo. Meron ako isang napanood saying that COVID, it is a virus, right? And viruses are not alive daw. Hindi daw siya buhay. Tapos
Mhm.
kasi when it dies, it doesn't necessarily die, it just breaks down. So anong ano 'yun? Totoo ba 'yun? Parang hindi ba buhay itong ano? Alam ko nagre-reproduce yung COVID eh. How does
Mhm.
that happen?
So,
Parang ganun.
okay, so yung this hindi I'm not a specialist sa mga viruses. I'm not a virologist.
Okay.
Pero ito yung all I'm saying is yung naintindihan ko about viruses dun nung med school.
Mhm.
So, yes, basically viruses are distinct from other microorganisms in the sense na they are acellular. Ibig sabihin wala silang cells. So for us biologic beings, we all believe in cellular theory. So basically, consists of cells. Us, plants, even the fungi, lahat yan may cells. Iba-iba lang yung
Mhm.
appearances ng mga cells natin kasi, syempre, other cells may have a cytoskeleton, parang yung just cell wall, parang yung sa mga plants.
Mhm.
Uh, Whereas humans, wala tayong cell wall. That's why we're not that rigid, yan. malambot tayo, hindi tayo parang bark ng trees.
Okay.
So, itong viruses naman, there are two types of viruses. There are RNA viruses, there are DNA viruses. So, itong COVID is
DNA
yeah,
viruses. Okay.
uh, you can either have DNA viruses or RNA viruses. So,
Okay.
itong coronavirus is a type of RNA. So, meaning it has to transcribe itself,
Mhm.
sorry, transcribe ba translate? Translate muna kasi
Mhm.
RNA siya. Kailangan ma-convert back siya into DNA. Tapos saka siya magre-replicate.
That's how viruses reproduce. Kaya siya
Uh,
dumadami. Ganun ba 'yun?
Viruses work by parang hina-hijack nila yung cells natin, or basically any cells with a nucleus.
Mhm.
So viruses can infect plants, viruses can infect animals or humans.
Mhm.
Paano? Yung basically para siyang, imagine mo alien ka. You're an
Mhm.
alien floating in sa galaxy natin, sabihin mo. Ngayon,
Okay.
may makita kang planet na inhabitable,
Okay.
which is Earth. Sabihin natin yun yung example natin ng life ng humans. So they come to Earth, magla-land sila sa Earth, they make contact.
Mhm.
So tapos once they make contact, parang nag-drill sila ng hole. Okay? So once na nag-drill sila ng hole, they inject their viral DNA sa atin, sa Earth. So basically parang nag-i-inject sila ng alien DNA nila sa core ng Earth natin.
Mhm.
Tapos ang mangyayari doon, it makes itself, or it makes the cell a machine to reproduce itself. So basically ginagawa niyang photocopier lahat ng mga planets. Once na it makes enough copies, eventually yung cell na mamamatay, sasabog, therefore magre-release siya ng maraming maraming copies ng virus. So that's how viruses work. Technically, wala nga silang life, pero they infect, and those with life, tapos kinokos nila, they can multiply themselves.
Ang weird no? Ang weird nung konsepto na something is not alive pero it causes this kind of things
Mm.
on a ano tawag?
Biologic
Parang
basis, sabihin lang
biological,
natin.
'di ba? 'Di ba?
Kasi they're also they can also become DNA, kasi yun yung concept dun. So basically, um, yung DNA nila, i-fuse nila dun sa DNA natin, tapos parang photocopy,
Mhm.
gagawa sila ng maraming copies, tapos i-cut out na naman nila yung DNA para makuha yung ano yung kanila. So basically, imagine mo, meron kang image, pinotocopy mo yung image na yun 100 times or maybe a million times. Tapos
Mhm.
yung kung ano, whatever image, cut out nila, tapos yun na yung virus. Perfect
Okay,
copy
no?
of itself.
So parang kumbaga pag lahat ng is this accurate? Parang lahat ng COVID-19 virus pare-parehas lang itsura nila. Perfect
Well,
copy, sabi. O hindi naman.
sabi nila, sabi nila there are more than a few strains. There are a few strains. Um, hindi ko alam kung ilan yung exact number. Kasi sabi walo, tatlo, parang ganun. So
In
basically, may
December
mga minor
2019,
minor sila
the
na
illness.
Oops, sorry.
differences. There are only minor differences. Ang itsura kasi ng coronavirus, para siyang, alam mo yung, imagine mo golf ball with sobrang daming spikes, covered in
Yeah.
spikes.
Ito,
Ay,
pinapakita ko.
ayan, parang ganyan yung itsura ng virus. So, yun.
Yan.
Yan.
Grabe,
So,
no?
yeah.
So, kung lahat ng virus, lahat ng spikes na ganyan, lahat ng mare-replicate would have the exact number of
Well,
spikes. Parang
yung
ganun.
spikes na yan, parang attach, yan yung mga receptors niya, ginagamit lang yan pang attach dun sa cell.
Mm.
Yung actual DNA niya would be somewhere dun sa inside the core ng virus. So, syempre, pinaprotect rin niya yung DNA niya. So, andun yan sa loob. Once na naka-enter na yan dun sa cell, magla-lyse na yung coat niya.
Oh.
I-release niya na yung virus niya.
Ito yata yun eh. Ito yata yung
Yeah,
nakita kong video nung nung kung paano
SARS.
kung pa yan kaya yung actual?
Yeah,
Grabe no.
electron microscope.
Holy shit. Bakit kailangan may virus sa mundo? 'Di ba? Anong silbi
Naman,
nila sa nature? Bakit ganun? And do they affect let's say yung kung nanggaling sila sa pangolin, bakit sila kailangan sa biodiversity ng mga pangolins o bats kung saan man sila nanggaling? 'Di ba? Yun yung isang pinagtataka ko.
well, y- hindi ako specialist to answer
Oo.
that question again.
Well, but if you can may nabanggit ba yung mga teachers about so ganyan? No?
Well, normally kasi mga viruses, they don't normally cross yung, kung example, parang virus ng pusa, virus ng
Mhm.
pusa, hindi pwedeng pupunta sa aso.
Parang immune sila,
Na,
ganun. Ganun ba
oh,
yun?
kasi isipin mo to, parang we don't normally contain DNA, or paraphrasing it, yung DNA ng cat, hindi mo naman siya normally mahahanap sa DNA ng dog or DNA ng tao.
Mhm.
And again, these viruses are DNA specific. So basically, um, kailangan niya siguro yung copy nung or yung segment ng gene na yun. Yun yung kailangan niya para mag-replicate. So hindi siya pwede dun sa species na to kasi wala siya nung copy na yun.
Mhm.
Ngayon, there are some segments kasi ng DNA na yun na, example, meron sa chickens or meron sa pigs na meron din sa human. That specific segment, kasi itong copy lang ng base pairs na to.
Mhm.
So yun yung pwedeng i-target ng virus. Kaya nakakapag-cross siya ng strain. Yun yung parang from my understanding.
No. What if tong virus kasi coronavirus usually talaga sa respiratory, 'di ba? Yun yung naapektuhan. What if it enters the body through let's say an open wound? Meron bang will it cause devastation to other cells?
Well, hindi known kung merong parenteral transmission pero it's a theoretical possibility. Yes, possible siya.
Possible siya.
Kasi all ang kailangan lang talaga ng virus para mag-replicate is to invade a human cell. So basically, as long as makapag-access yan sa loob mo, may access na siya sa live cells. Yung skin mo kasi dead cells yan eh. So wala siyang mapasukan diyan.
Mhm.
Yung skin natin forms a protective layer as long as intact yung skin, di ba? So
Mhm.
example, may wound ka,
Mhm.
na-expose yung virus dun sa wound na yun, may access siya sa healthy cells. So definitely, pwede niyang i-infect yun.
Oh.
So it's a theoretical possibility, pero easier kasi pag mai-inhale mo lang. Mas malaki yung chance na a larger viral load yung makakakuha makakapasok sa bloodstream tapos makaka-access sa healthy cells.
Grabe, no? In a siguro this is a stupid question kasi parang I was gonna ask sana kung syempre ang dami nang namatay kasi it I was gonna ask kung gaano ka parang menacing kung boss, kung final boss sa video game, anong
Uh,
level tong COVID-19?
Ganito. Isipin mo, kalaban mo yung final boss,
Oo.
yung ultimate final boss
Siya yun?
for the first time. So hindi mo alam yung HP niya, hindi mo
Mhm.
alam yung mga attack patterns niya. So basically you're
Oh.
facing something for the first time. Kaya nga siya novel.
Ah, grabe, no?
So hindi natin alam kung ano, we have limited data
Ayun,
kasi it's something new.
eto, yan.
So
Ano tong mga sacks na yun nakalagay dun sa
alveoli.
lungs?
So basically yung lungs mo are millions or billions of alveoli. Yan yung pinaka maliit na segment ng
Mm.
lung mo.
Diyan ba
Yan yung,
nandiyan diyan yung nagre-receive ng oxygen?
yes,
Oh,
normally
yan.
walang fluid dapat dyan.
Mm.
May gas lang, tapos nakita mo parang covered siya ng parang may blood, di ba? May blood vessels.
Oo.
Yung oxygen kasi nagpa-pass through dun sa nipis ng wall ng alveoli. Oxygen can freely diffuse sa
Mm.
sa blood tapos kakapit siya sa hemoglobin natin.
Okay.
That's
So,
how our cells get oxygenated.
galing, no? Tapos merong epal na biglang teka, panoorin nga natin tong video. Parang pinakita dito kung paano ano eh. Yeah, let's watch the video. Let's see. Tingnan mo kung can you explain what's happening?
Okay.
Oh, sige, sige. You know, what happens in your body when you contract coronavirus? Ano to? Ano to mga to? Tingin mo? Yung mga parang hairs na yun.
Those are microvilli. Parang yan yung hairs ng
Sa
extension
lungs?
siya ng cellular surface. So basically ginagawa niyan, ina-allow niya yung movement ng mga particles. So example, dirt. May mga small particles like dirt which get trapped dun sa microvilli na yun. Tapos
Mm-hmm.
brush off niya. Nililinisan niya yung area para hindi umabot sa cells mo.
Oh, okay. Okay, tingnan natin. Protein shell. Ah, may shell
Mhm.
lang. Okay. Tapos ano ka, ito yung virus mismo, no? Tama.
Yep,
Envelope,
envelope.
protein spikes. Okay,
Yun
those who are just
basically
listening. Okay.
sinasabi niya yung parts ng virus.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, yun yung sinasabi nating viral DNA or RNA which it protects. Tapos it's surrounded by a circular envelope.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos yung spikes na yan, those are attachment proteins. So basically pag
Oo.
nag-contact na siya dun sa cell, yan
Mm-hmm.
na yung kakapit dun. Tapos
Mm-hmm.
yan yung proteins responsible dun sa pag-absorb niya.
Mm-hmm. Grabe. Okay, so
Viruses are like aliens. They are so much like aliens. Parang ganun.
talaga.
They want to invade so much.
Eto, tapos nakasakay sa no, sa droplets.
Mhm.
Damn. Tapos ano pa talagang verdict about COVID being airborne?
Airborne siya.
Air
Yung predominant pattern ng transmission is still respiratory droplet. What do you mean by respiratory droplet? So basically, when a person sneezes, nakita mo yung parang may parang air na tumalsik.
Oo.
Yun yung it contains millions of tiny droplets. So basically, yung tiny droplets na yun yung nagiging parang carrier ng virus.
Mhm.
So once that na 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 transmit yung droplet na yan, it can stay
Oo.
suspended sa air for a particular amount of time. Tapos
Mhm.
pag sinabing airborne mo, pag sinabi mong airborne, it can stay sa air for at least 6 hours dapat.
Talaga? 6 hours? Wow. And it could travel how many ano kaya? How many feet
No,
or meters? Depends on
yun
the
ang
wind.
well, totoo yan. Actually, it's a
Oo.
factor na hindi mo predict eh. Actually, depende rin sa wind
Oo.
strength, 'di ba? So
Mm.
hindi mo masabi pero parang again, hindi ko sure. Ayoko wag niyo
Okay,
ako
okay.
gamitin as a reference here.
Okay.
Pero um, pag sinabing airborne, kaya it needs to have the ability to remain suspended dun sa air. Hindi lang siya yung para mag-drop down na para
Oo.
affected by gravity. And
Okay.
yes, COVID is airborne daw.
Mm. Initially, hindi daw eh, 'di ba? Parang it's not airborne. Tapos syempre, since it's novel,
Mhm.
madami kang madidiscover along the way. Okay. Okay, kanina ayan ito pinakita na how it connects. Diyan, grabe no, may mga ganyan.
Yeah,
And then
that
it
was
gets
my
absorbed. That's what
yes.
yun yung sinasabi mo kanina.
Mhm.
Inside the cell. Teka, galing siya dun sa throat cells eh. Umpisa natin dun sa kanina. Okay, so after getting inhaled by this poor lady, it goes inside and then you
Yeah.
see throat cells. Yung mga throat cells pa yung sinasabi ko kanina. Ang liit
Mm.
lang, sobrang liit talaga nung no, nung virus. Bakit may ganyan? Bakit merong pag-a-attachan yung ang cells? Anong para saan kaya 'yun? Parang 'di ba? Bakit may ganun yung katawan?
Well, ganun talaga eh. That's how our body interacts. Ay, shoutout pala kay Kyle at saka kay Kenneth here watching right now. What's
Hey,
up,
what's
guys?
up? What's up? Thanks for watching. Please share the stream. Okay. Okay. So, teka,
So yun,
kasi ang tanong ko is bakit merong a thing for the virus to attach? What is it for? Kasi syempre, you would think that everything na nasa loob ng lahat ng bagay is for a reason. Kung bakit
mhm.
nandun, 'di ba? Kahit yung pilik mata,
Well,
may reason 'yan bakit may pilik mata,
ah,
'di ba? So, bakit sila nandun? Kaya
well, I can't say yung possible reason kasi hindi naman ako yung nag-produce ng virus na yun.
okay.
So, yung reason kung bakit meron possible yung pag-attach na lang is because syempre capable pa rin ang nucleic acid kasi ang virus kasi it's made of at least one type of nucleic acid, either RNA or DNA, tapos may mga proteins yan.
Mhm.
And as long as may proteins dyan sa katawan, as long as capable yung anchor niya, yung attachment protein niya na mag-interact with the receptors na present sa cell membrane natin,
Mhm.
magkakapit at kakapit yan. Parang
Oh.
lock and key model, may tinatawag na induced fit. Kahit hindi siya yung exactly for that receptor, as long as parang pwede na nating pagtiyagaan,
Mhm.
kakapit yan.
Oh, I see. Tapos
It's
ang
one of the
okay.
questions na we ask na parang, okay body, bakit mo ginawa yan? Bakit mo in-ingest yung virus?
Oo nga, no? Oo nga. Actually, you have parang worded it much better than I did, 'di ba? Bakit
But
merong
ito kasi yung thing, yung cells natin, they don't have eyes. Hindi nila nalalaman kung virus na pala yon. Normally kasi
mm,
yung function ng pag-absorb ng cell na yun, it's called endocytosis or cell eating, yung tinatawag natin. It's the process na from the outside the cell, i-take in ng cell yung something foreign from it. Kasi sometimes may sugar molecules or basically pagkain nila. That's how
ah,
they eat it. That's
I
how they eat.
see.
Parang ganun.
I see. And then grabe, no? Parang ang devious na mechanisms nitong mga virus na to. At saka pag tingnan mo itsura, mukhang ano talaga eh. Mukhang
Yeah, parang
mukhang wala talagang gagawing maganda eh.
oh,
'Di ba? 'Di ba? Grabe. Wow, that's amazing. It's fascinating kasi kasi when you look at the person, you just see the entire human, the human form,
mhm.
'di ba? Pero in reality, we are basically a universe of cells, 'di ba? Na kung ano-anong na if you look at the yung itsura ng mga cells, mukhang aliens din talaga eh, 'di ba? So, tapos they're all over our bodies. Meron pa mga naglalakad na mga cells. May nakita akong documentary ganun eh. And it's amazing. At meron
I
silang
think
sariling buhay.
I think may movie na nga yung ano eh. May movie na yung I think there's a movie for that. Made dun sa
Okay.
ganyang ano, parang every cell or I don't know, hindi ko sure.
Community ng mga ano. Eto, di ba? Ano, red blood cells ba yan? Ay, hindi. Gogli
And then Golgi
something.
apparatuses.
Oh, good.
Parang yan,
Okay.
it's just a video na pinapakita yung different iba-ibang types, ibang parts ng cell. So may
Okay.
Golgi apparatus, may ribosomes. It's like a biology class.
Oo nga eh, no? Ayan. Gumawa na siya ng copy ng sarili niya. Is that what's happening there?
Yep.
Grabe, no?
Nakapagawa na siya ng
Holy
maraming
shit.
copies niya inside.
Tapos ang dami niya, million-million kaya, no? Kada isang cell, million-million siguro ang nagagawa niya.
Meron kasing two types ng pag-release ng uh, virus.
Mhm.
Parang nakita mo yung isang type na yun, yung parang pakonti-konti niya i-release. Keeping
Okay.
the cell alive. Merong isang ganong type. Yung isa naman, papatay niya yung cell. Tapos mag-rupture siya. Parang it's a balloon that releases millions of viruses. Parang, I
Holy shit. Grabe.
think plastic. I'm not sure. Tagal na
Okay.
virology class namin.
Pero at least you can provide some answers, 'di ba?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Tapos ito na, nasa lungs na.
Yeah.
Bakit naging ganun yung reaction ng body? Is bakit fluids? Bakit ganun? Kaya ano kayang
Uh,
explanation doon?
dahil sa inflammation yun actually. Pag sinabi mong pneumonia, di ba, we talked about it earlier. It says it's
Oo.
just basically saying your lungs has an infection. So kapag may infection, normally there's tissue destruction and inflammation. So pag inflamed yung cells mo, like example, sore yung arm mo, di ba namamaga?
Mhm.
Let's say you busted na-fracture mo yung elbow mo. Napansin mo na parang swollen tapos parang sobrang magang-maga niya.
Okay.
So consider mo yung forearm mo, kapal ng skin yan. What about yung sa lungs? Sobrang nipis lang yan.
Ooh.
So once na nagkaroon siya ng inflammation, possible yung fluid inside the blood cells to mag ano siya. Ang tawag namin doon is translate. Yung pressure caused by um sorry, I don't want to be sobrang medical yung terms. So
Okay,
I'm
okay.
trying to keep it um light
Yeah,
lang.
yeah.
Ano
Okay,
kaya
okay,
maganda?
okay. It's okay, man. I'm trying to keep up.
Basically,
Ah, sige.
yeah, basically you have a inflammation causing pag-leak out ng fluid.
Mm. Ito na.
Yung
Mga yan na yung mga symptoms, di ba?
yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
So ang pneumonia, nagkakaroon ka ng fluid sa lungs. Is that
Not
correct?
necessarily. Not
Ah, okay.
necessarily. Pag sinabi mo pneumonia, basically infection lang ng lung. You don't say
Ah,
anything about its severity. You don't say anything
I
about
see.
its
I see. I see.
origin, kung ano yung nag-cause.
Eto na, mag-skip na tayo dito sa ano. Eto
Alright.
parang treatment. Yan, ito yung
Mechanical ventilation.
ganyan ba yung ventilator na hanggang doon kaya pala. At saka
Yep.
meron pang parang bob na nandun sa putyan sakit nga niyan.
Actually, hindi. Pag in-intubate mo, hindi pa yan inflated. That's a cough. Cough yan. So, yung purpose ng pag-cough natin ng ET tube is to make sure na walang air na magli-leak out. Kasi you don't want that na may nagli-leak pa na air sa isang COVID patient. So, you make sure na coughed yung ET tube na ginamit mo to get that seal.
Okay. And there's a pump dito sa ventilator na to.
Yung end ng mechanical ventilator is connected to a respirator. Sorry, yung end ng tube is connected to a mechanical ventilator. So basically, merong nag-provide ng mechanical ventilation for you.
So, does the patient lose the ability to breathe by himself?
Um,
Or
the, yun yung na-mention ko kanina. Once na i-develop dyspnea kasi, um, have you tried na nagkaroon ka ng cough na sobrang tagal mo nang umuubo?
mm.
Nagkakaroon ka ba ng parang back pain
Oo.
after?
Oo. Yeah, yeah.
So, ganun yung feeling. Parang nagiging heavy yung chest mo because of continuous use ng muscles mo
Mm.
for coughing as well as breathing.
Mhm.
Tapos, um, di ba when you run a marathon, nangyayari parang pinupulikat ka. You
Oo.
develop parang acid sa muscles mo.
Oo.
Ganon din yung nangyayari sa chest muscles mo. It can also develop parang acid due to overuse. So, yung purpose ng mechanical ventilation natin is to give your chest some time na parang okay, pahinga ka muna.
Ah,
Kasi
I
you've been
see.
working non-stop parang gano'n.
Teka, may tanong ako. So, 'di ba, parang it pumps air in. Siyempre,
Mhm.
mag-exhale ka, lalabas yung yung air from the patient. And
Yes.
that air could possibly be infected with the virus. May filter ba yung ano yun?
Yung anesthesia machine, yes, dapat. It should
Oh.
have a filter. So may filter naman yung mechanical ventilator tapos may isang port siya na doon lang nilalabas yung filter air.
Oh. Tapos disposable lahat 'to. Kumbaga hindi mo na pwedeng gamitin sa, 'di ba?
Yes, pati yung circuit hindi mo na pwedeng gamitin.
Circuit? What do you mean circuit?
Um, nakikita mo yung piece na connected dun sa ET tube.
Mhm.
Yan, connected yan
Ito.
yes, yan.
Okay.
Connected yan pa ilalim sa corrugated tubes. Yun yung tawag namin dun sa parang yung na shrink mo tapos na
Mhm.
nahihila mo na tubes. Corrugated tubes yung tawag doon. So,
Mhm.
that is part of yung tinatawag na circuit. Yun yung
Oh.
yung circuit na nagko-connect from the patient to the machine.
Holy shit. Damn. Tapos ito, nagpa-pump na siya.
Mhm. Yung ginagawa nga daw sa sa New York and even sa Italy, um, ginagawa nila yung for one mechanical ventilator, ni-split nila using T-tubes para
Oo.
ma-share nila yung isang ventilator.
Mm.
Accommodate nila up to like 4 patients.
Hmm. Oo nga,
Pero
no?
kailangan positive lahat patients mo doon kasi baka maghahawaan sila.
Ito now, the race is on for a vaccine. May
Yep.
nakita akong video, ito yata rin yun eh. Yung vaccine, uh, kumbaga parang antibody, it will just block. Parang ang simple lang nung ano eh, no? Nung mechanism. Ito yung
Mhm.
antibody. It's Y-shaped. Would the antibody really look like this?
Eh, yan yung postulated na itsura ng antibody natin.
Mm.
Would it truly look like that? Yes. Ganun,
Talaga?
may mga portions yung, may parts, like, kapag inaral mo na naman ang immunology, everything has parts.
Okay.
Yung antibody na yan, meron yung FC portion, na tinatawag.
Wow.
Tapos, basically, uh, may isang site for attachment, yung parang receptor. Tapos
Uh-huh.
yung isa, yung parang back end niya, site
Mm.
yun na pwede mag-connect from one antibody to another. Pwede sila mag-develop ng cluster,
Mm.
ng clumps.
So, yung Y na yan, lahat may tawag dyan sa kada isang extremity na ganyan. Ganun ba yun? Yun ba yung
And
sinasabi mo?
actually, yung reason lang kung bakit why yung itsura niyan, kasi that's an example of an IgG. IgG
IgG.
is a single-stranded na antibody. Yung single, one part lang na antibody. Kasi may tinatawag na IgM, which developed dun sa acute phase ng infection. Ang itsura nun, parang star na ganyan.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5 copies to na parang naka-fuse yung ends to form a star. Parang ganun lang. Yun yung initial na antibodies na pinoproduce ng katawan mo
Mm-hmm.
to fight off infection. So, yung type na yan, that's called an IgG, that's
Mm-hmm.
produced kapag recovered ka na. Dun
Wow.
sa convalescent phase ng disease, you start to produce IgGs. So,
Teka, may...
yan yung cue natin
Mm,
na you're developing protective antibodies na.
okay. Meron akong tanong. 'Di ba kasi it looks like to me to an uneducated person, it looks like a very simple structure. Alam mo yun, parang
Yeah,
pwedeng I don't know how advanced we are with nanobots. 'Di ba? Parang
okay.
pwede why don't we just create billions and billions of these things. 'Di ba? Mukhang madali lang naman eh. Tapos parang let's see kung ganyan kung if we can determine that this is the right
Mm,
shape, 'di ba? Pwede kaya 'yon? Or are these alive then as well?
I'm
Or
thinking. Actually, those are not a parang alive. They're made um paano ka ba explain? Sige.
proteins,
Sige.
ganon? Hindi.
Antibodies are technically, yes, proteins siya. Immunoglobulin. Globulin means a circular protein. So basically, yes, proteins ang immunoglobulins mo.
Mhm.
So, how do I explain? Um,
Na madali.
Itong mga IgG kasi, um, bakit hindi pwede nanobots? They're very specific. Like, kung if you have a immunoglobulin for, let's say, rabies, that wouldn't work against parang hindi siya parehas ng immunoglobulin for, let's say, diphtheria. Parang ganun. So,
Okay.
kahit parang Y yung itsura niyan, it's not exactly a Y. Marami pa siyang parang secrets parang dun sa loob ng structure niya. Pero that make it possible to connect to attach dun sa certain
Ah,
proteins, etc.
so if you're just gonna put something na parang inorganic shaped like this, parang the virus will just ignore it. Parang it's not gonna attach. Ganun
Maybe,
oh,
yes.
okay. I see.
possible as long as parang hindi siya specific dun sa yung concept kasi natin diyan, antigen and antibody, nagfo-form siya ng complex. Antigen refers to any non-self molecule that can
Mm-hmm.
act as an antigen, that can parang as long as your body reacts to that, it's an antigen.
Okay.
So ang antibodies natin, those are parang keyholes para dun sa antigen. So if the antigen is the key, yung antibody niya is a keyhole. So mag-fit siya lagi perfectly together.
Okay.
That way kapag nag-fit yung key dun sa keyhole, they form a complex. Antibody antigen complex yung tawag doon. Tapos yung buong complex na yan gets transferred into your cells para imagine mo na parang it's your body's way of devising a plan na parang, okay, kailangan na natin kalabanin to.
Oh.
It's this whole story in immunology, yung story ng how your body reacts to a chronic infection or a viral infection na ganito. It triggers your
Mm.
lymphocytes, yung cells mo, to produce antibodies against that particular virus.
Okay.
Yung
Kasi
problem is,
okay.
um, sa sa atin ngayon, konti pa lang yung nag-recover. And there's this thing called convalescent plasma therapy wherein yung plasma daw yung antibodies doon sa plasma ng recovered individuals, parang ikino-collect tapos ibibigay yun as a form of treatment doon sa isang patient with COVID. Kasi parang
Mm.
yung antibodies na nga, parang ibabind niya yung mga, huhuliin niya lahat ng disease sa katawan mo. Tapos, hindi na kailangan ng katawan mo mag-create ng antibodies for that. So basically, yun yung parang isang treatment na dinedevelop nila ngayon. Pero I don't know if it's working. Parang wala pa akong data on that.
Oh. They're saying it will take at least 18 months, 1.5 years. Diba?
Well, possible. Siyempre, lahat nag-uunahan ngayon. Pero I think
Mm.
um, we're starting already human trials.
Okay.
Some vaccine companies are already starting human trials. So siguro yung earliest natin dyan maybe first quarter to maybe the half of next year that ma-release yung first vaccine.
Ang tagal pa. Grabe.
Tagal pa, tagal pa.
Oo, grabe.
And
Ma,
there's also the second, yung tinatawag ng second wave kasi nung Spanish, na nangyari yung Spanish flu noong 1912,
mhm.
uh, nagkaroon ng, ito I just, nabasa ko lang to information na to on Facebook. So,
Okay.
hindi reliable yung source ko. Pero,
1912, parang
pero
1917, 1918 to 1919
mga
yata yun.
ganun.
Oo.
Yeah.
Oo.
Um, so anyway, sobrang nag-rejoice yung mga tao nung lift yung pandemic. So mas maraming namatay dun sa second wave. So
Oo.
yun yung ini-speculate nila na parang okay, pag tinanggal natin yung ECQ sa March 15, May 15, expect nyo na mag-i-inflate talaga yung mga cases natin. Yun yung pinapag-usapan namin ngayon.
Mhm.
So expect nyo may mag-make up for the times na hindi sila nakapag-inuman, hindi sila
Oo
nakapag-enjoy.
nga.
Ganun yung expect natin, so mag-spike up yung mga cases natin.
Pero merong
So
merong
anyway,
merong ibang nagsasabi naman, may ibang kasi the thing is it is so new. Ang daming mga iba't ibang reports saying na yung isang nabasa ko is it's not yung death rate ba ang tawag doon? Basta
case
it's not
fatality rate.
fatality rate is they now discovered that it's much lower than initially projected. Kumbaga
Yeah.
parang bumaba dati parang mga 3 I don't know, parang 6% yata at as much as 6% yata yung unang pinroject nila tapos ngayon parang 0.3 na lang yata yung
Well,
fatality
actually,
rate.
6% is a really high case fatality rate kasi imagine mo if you have 1 million cases,
Oo nga,
you
di
have
ba?
10, you have 60,000 people dead.
Oo.
Yun yung 6% ng 1 million.
Oo nga.
So, if you're talking about 100 million Filipinos, 600,000 yun, case fatality rate na 6%. So, sobrang
Yeah.
taas nun.
Mm.
Ngayon, ang pag sinabi natin case, yung incidence ng cases, meaning from this time period, ito yung number of cases natin for this particular period of the year.
Mm.
Now, if we match yung case fatality rate, parang I think we're less than 1% yung case fatality rate natin. Kasi yung, in terms of percentage, wala pa namang 3% ng population natin. Wala pang 1% ng population natin na may COVID ngayon.
Oo.
And out of the 1% ng population natin, out of the less than 1%, less pa yung deaths doon. So, point something lang talaga
Mm.
yung yung deaths sa ECQ. Pero syempre, life is sacred, so parang we try to save each one.
Mm.
Yun pa rin yung stand namin sa medical field.
Yeah.
Pero yun nga, it also has its drawbacks, as in how many millions of pesos have we lost dito sa ECQ?
And
The economic
also, kaya din bumaba ng ganyan is because nagkaroon tayo ng mga quarantines, 'di ba? Naka-lockdown tayo. So if
well, that's true.
'di
Uh,
ba? Kung hindi tayo naka-lockdown, I'm sure it's much higher.
higher,
Much higher,
higher.
'di ba?
Pero some countries, kasi yung thing is, hindi mo ma-assure na hindi magkakahawaan yung tao. Kasi you can never know
Mhm.
na kung sino talaga yung infected sa hindi, kasi may mga asymptomatic forms tayo.
Oo nga.
So, yung point of the quarantine is to lessen yung spike, pero once na malift ng ECQ, parang okay, na-delay natin ng konti pero hindi natin siya pinigilan talaga. Kasi
Mhm.
hindi naman talaga feasible na i-maintain natin yung ECQ for the whole year. Wala
Oo.
tayo, baka maghirap tayo, wala na
Mhm.
makain yung mga ibang tao.
Yeah.
So,
Iba na ang kakamatay natin. Kaya ba, yung
hunger na.
yung isang tanong nga is actually it's an ongoing debate everywhere worldwide na parang when will it be, when will it come to a point that the lockdown will be more deadly than the virus, 'di ba? Which can happen naman talaga. Kasi hindi ka naman talaga kumbaga wala kang
Theoretically,
trabaho,
it's
wala kang
possible.
pera, 'di ba?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Theoretically, it's possible, pero I don't think we're there yet. Na parang, I don't think na ganun pa ka-violent yung mga tao to say na wala na effect yung lockdown sa atin or
Oo nga
hindi na
eh.
siya beneficial.
Yeah. It's it would really suck if you'd be the one in charge to make a decision for that, no? Parang
Oo,
'di
kasi
ba? Wala kang
I don't know
wala
eh.
tingin ko wala kang magiging tamang sagot eh. Kahit anong gawing decision mo, somebody would say na dapat ganito yung ginawa mo. Kasi hindi mo alam eh. 'Di ba?
Well, it's hard to say na ito yung tama, ito yung mali kasi hindi naman yan parang, I mean, may repercussion per side.
Mhm.
Meron siyang advantages, meron siyang disadvantages. So if you lean towards the one side of the coin, kailangan i-make sure mo na ito yung best interest ng masa.
Oo.
Ito yung best interest ng Philippines ngayon. Parang ganun.
Mhm. Huh. Kasi if kasi doon pa lang sa pag-lockdown, 'di ba? Parang dapat hindi kayo na dapat nag-lockdown ka na pero dapat inagahan mo pa, 'di ba? Ganyan. O kaya dapat kung hindi ka naman nag-lockdown, ba't ka nag-lockdown? Kasi samantalang pwede namang hindi. 'Di ba?
Hmm.
So wala ka talagang ano eh. Syempre may mga kaaway ka sa politika.
Yep.
To
It's
those
hard
who
to
are
say kung ano yung tama at saka mali ngayon kasi
yeah.
these are not normal times.
Pero that doesn't mean naman that you cannot criticize, 'di ba? Pero
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, pero I I I wouldn't want to be in that position. 'Di ba? Parang shit. Kasi
Definitely, hindi easy time ngayon para sa kahit sinong president.
oo.
Kahit
Ta-
sinong those in bodies na to make decisions. Hindi yun madali ngayon para sa kanila.
yeah, tapos conflicting pa yung mga reports about meron pang mga deceptions, mga misinformation campaigns for whatever
Mm.
reasons na maririnig mo. Tapos nandiyan pa yung mga siraulong mga conspiracy theories, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos may mga pasaway pa, mayroon pa mga hindi naiintindihan kung ano nangyayari. So it's
Ay nako, ang tigas ng ulo ng mga tao pare.
mm,
Ang dami mo nakikita sa labas na parang nung nag-start yung quarantine, well, as a frontliner, syempre, we still have the ability to move around.
mhm.
Kasi dahil yun nga yung benefits ng being a frontliner. So
Mhm.
nakikita mo yung kung sino yung nasa labas ngayon.
Oo.
And comparing ngayon, kung ECQ pa rin tayo, nothing has changed, di ba? ECQ pa rin tayo.
Oo.
If anything, tumaas pa nga yung security.
Okay.
Pero ngayon, sobrang parang normal na lang. It's like a normal day na parang wala.
Oo nga eh, no?
Daming tao sa daan. Ang daming tao sa daan.
Grabe.
Traffic na nga eh.
Kasi di mo rin kasi ano eh, di mo rin mapipigilan eventually magsisilabasan din talaga mga tao eh. And that is one we were talking about this then yesterday, last night with Gab. Kasi parang sa atin kasi especially here in the Philippines, we are freedom loving people eh. And we know
Yeah.
to some extent we know our rights. Not experts, pero we know na hindi tayo pwedeng bastang ikulong ng walang dahilan, 'di ba? Parang ganoon. We are aware of those things. And we have most people are aware that we have liberties that the government should uphold, 'di ba? And then
Mhm.
kasi if you're gonna nagugutom na yung pamilya mo, hindi naman sa dahil mas masakit ang matigas ang ulo mo eh, 'di ba? Parang sometimes kailangan mo na talagang magtrabaho kasi wala namang ibang sasalo sa'yo kundi sarili mo eh, lalo na dito. Kasi
Mhm.
yung naririnig natin yung mga problema and distributing yung financial, yung aid from the government. So sometimes it will come to a point talaga that we will need to fend for ourselves. And then biglang so hindi sasabihin sa'yo hindi ka pwedeng lumabas, di ba? Magkakagulo talaga eh. Unlike let's say sa China, that the government could just they're literally welding their doors eh. Their front doors naka-welding doon. No, diyan ka lang. 'Di ba? Babatoon na lang namin kayo. Kasi they can do that. And no, hindi kumbaga they're within yung gobyerno nila
The
has
power
full
to do that.
power. Yeah, hindi siya walang pag nag-dissent ka when they do that, yari ka. 'Di ba?
Mm.
And they have accepted that setting for so long. Unlike us, hindi mo pwedeng gawin 'yun, 'di ba?
Yeah.
And other western countries.
Well,
So
that's also the problem ng mga ito yung nakita ko sa mga problema ng mga Pilipinos that parang you're too self-entitled na parang ang dami yun ine-expect. You have to help you have to help yourself din. Hindi yung puro inaasa niyo sa gobyerno.
well,
Hirap.
totoo. Mm. Huh.
You have the obligation to provide us with some um, benefit or some aid kasi syempre government sila eh. Pero yun nga, ang daming mahirap ngayon and you know better
Yeah.
na parang makisama ka pa sa
Well,
gulo.
yeah. And also this the question here is how long can we hold out, 'di ba? Na parang hanggang kailan maglalast yung supply ng gobyerno na kaya tayong pangalagaan ng gobyerno. How long na we can be sure that alam mo yun, that food are gonna be delivered here in the city, 'di ba?
Well,
Kasi wala namang mga farms dito
kung
sa 'di ba?
kung mag-maintain ng quarantine, hindi na tatanggalin. I don't think it's possible na papakainin nila yung how many million Filipinos.
Oo eh. Hindi lang 'yun. Saan sila kukuha ng pagkain kung walang nagma-manufacture? 'Di ba? Let's
Well,
say
I think
you have money.
lifted na rin kasi yung quarantine sa ibang parts ng Philippines yung hindi masyadong prevalent yung COVID.
Sa
So,
bagay.
yun, yun yung advantage din of the Philippines being a archipelago. Wala tayong landlocked masyado
Mm.
kasi syempre parang we can only move from one island to another.
Mm.
So, seek refuge there if ever. These are just theoretical na ano, pero yun nga, pwedeng mag-provide yung ibang communities for us.
Yeah.
Hindi pa naman tayo down to the point na wala nang tutulong sa atin.
Oo naman. Pero kasi back in just last month yata sa Italy, parang nagluluting na sila eh. May mga looting incidents na. Tapos merong isang chilling video na this father parang ano kasi wala silang ano, naka-stop din yung economy nila eh. Hindi ko lang
Mhm.
alam, wala akong update sa Italy ngayon. Pero during that time, parang ang video niya is he showing his daughter. Parang mga 3-year-old, something like that. Ganun yung edad ng bata. So, his daughter, he's eating. Tapos ang sinasabi niya is to the sense na parang, okay, this is my daughter and she is eating right now. In a few days, mawala na kami ng ano, wala na kaming pagkain, wala na akong pambili. Mauubos ng pagkain yan, wala na siyang kakainin. And so are plenty of other fathers' daughters, wala na rin kakainin in a few days. So ang ano na is, pag nangyari yon, pasensyahan na lang tayo kung anong gagawin ko. Di ba? Parang ganun. So,
Well, pag nag-start yun na mangyari sa like the more impoverished areas of Manila, mas mahirap yun. Kasi mas nakakatakot yung mga yun pag nagutom kaysa pag nagkaroon ng sakit.
oo, di ba? So, it's isang
Once they
problema yun.
become big, pag naging desperate na yung tao, kahit sino naman eh. Once na naging desperate.
Kaya sabi ko nga, ano eh, if hindi lang tayo umabot, any government na hindi lang umabot dun sa point na na nag na may looting, that you can't even be you can't even feel secured in your own home kasi
Mhm.
baka may mga taong who could just invade and take your food or whatever you have, 'di ba? Kasi pwedeng
Well,
umabot sa
maybe,
ganun eh. Pag bas hindi lang tayo umabot doon, sige, okay na. Parang job well done. Ganun na yung sasabihin ko.
well,
Kasi
I guess, yun na rin yung isa sa mga precautions kung bakit nag-mobilize early na military para maiwasan yung ganong scenario.
oo.
Daming
Kaya,
military ngayon.
yeah. Kasama rin naman talaga sa frontline talaga yung military. And it's essential. Kailangan, well, I think people recognize din naman na how important it is. But I think not a lot of people recognizes na yung aid ng government also depends on, let's say, ang daming ang pera ng gobyerno. Kaso wala ka namang ano eh, wala ka namang mabiling food. Kasi walang nagma-manufacture ng food. Walang farms na nagpo-produce ng food. Eh di walang silbi yung pera mo. You get, 'di ba? Kahit bigyan ka ng how many, kung let's say 10,000 pesos, you can't eat that. You will need to exchange that for the actual goods.
I think malayo pa tayo sa ganong situation.
Oh. And
Yung parang umabot sa ganong point. Like,
yeah.
kasi it's not yung pandemic ngayon, it's not an extinction level crisis. Kaya hindi
Oh.
siya, yun yung sinasabi ko sa sarili ko, it's not an extinction level crisis kasi people recover eh. It's a virus. People will always recover dun sa magkakaroon tayo ng survivors. I don't think aabot sa point na money will not buy you any food anymore kasi mawawala tayo ng sources. Feeling ko
Oo.
marami pa eh. Ang dami
Oo
pa
nga. Eh.
mga bodega na punong-puno dyan yung mga nag-hoard ng mga bigas.
Mm.
Nag-exist sila dyan.
No.
So,
And also parang things look na parang ang laki ng in-improve compared to the first few weeks na parang yung uncertainty was really shit.
mhm.
Ano, 'di ba? Parang ngayon parang okay, so the fatality rate pala is not as bad. It's still bad, of course, pero it's it could have been worse kung katulad nung initial projections ang mangyayari.
Well, yung reason kung bakit ayaw talaga natin siya ikalat is not because of us. It's because ang population at risk dito is yung mga matatanda, yung mga those immunocompromised patients, yung
Mhm.
mga, kasi it's a viral disease, para siyang para siyang flu na mas malala. It
Oo.
has a critical form. Parang ganun. Para siyang flu na may critical form. Once na umabot ka sa critical form, yun ay mahihirapan ka huminga, pwede ka matuduhan, you can die.
Ah, okay.
Pero
Mm-mm.
pero other than that, kung I don't want to speak kasi ang dami pang mga unknown dito sa COVID na to eh. May mga sinasabi nila dati na parang pangmatanda lang yung sakit na yan. Tapos we have documents of a 1-year-old na nagka-develop ng COVID, mga ganun, mga 20+ year old tapos namatay sa COVID.
Oo.
Um, Maraming ganun. Medyo hindi pa talaga clear yung data kasi ang dami pang mga factors na pwedeng responsible nag-contribute dun sa ganong situation na hindi natin pwedeng, at least for now, hindi natin pwedeng i-pinpoint na okay, COVID did this.
Yeah.
I don't think na there's enough context dun sa ganong klaseng
Mhm.
scenario.
Yeah. Well, things are hopefully mag-improve palalo to the better. 'Di ba? Kasi well, yung kaninang sinasabi ko parang parang this actually happened in our lifetime, 'di ba? Parang hindi mo alam kung ano eh. Kasi parang before you just hear about yan Spanish flu. Okay, man,
Mhm.
dati nagkaroon you hear about the Black Death, 'di ba? You hear about these yung mga pandemics before. Tapos
Mhm.
ngayon meron tayong naranasan natin. And
Well,
swerte
for me,
tayo
it's an
kasi
honor. Swerte ako kasi
uh
I have the privilege to say na I served during that time na
oo nga.
nagkaroon ng pandemic.
Yun. Actually, yun yung tinatanong ko
Privilege.
sa'yo kanina, 'di ba? Parang is it it's a privilege naman talaga and we thank you for ano yan, for doing this. Grabe
I
yung
think
ano, no? Hmm? Sige.
wala na, I don't think yung, ang dami kasi nagsasabi ngayon na parang, bakit niya ba masyadong gina-glorify yung mga doctors ngayon, yung mga nurses? Ginagawa niya silang heroes. They're not heroes, pero they're just doing their job. Maraming
Mm-hmm.
mga nagsasabi ng ganun. And to a point, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Sa to lang, we don't care. We don't care na kung sinasabi niyo parang we're doing this for honor. We don't want the glory.
Mm-hmm.
Some people maybe, pero sa amin, it's our job. Yun lang talaga. Hindi naman namin hinahanap yun eh. Yung kailangan lang namin is
Mm-hmm.
makisama. Wala sana yung pasaway na parang we're trying to limit the spread tapos nagkakalat kayo dyan sa kanto-kanto. Akala nyo parang may party lagi.
Grabe, no? How frustrating is it to you guys pag nakakita ng ganun?
It's really frustrating kasi parang we're sticking our necks para dito sa job na to, tapos we're trying to flatten the curve, yung slow down the disease. Tapos meron yung mga pasaway na parang lahat ng efforts mo, you're risking your life. Tapos may isang idiot dyan sa tabi na parang wala lang sa kanya.
Mm. Do you think do you think the government has done enough to educate the public with the disease, COVID-19?
Um, it's really, hindi ko masabi kung enough or hindi. Kasi I can't pin everything sa government. Kasi sometimes, na kahit gawin naman ng government yung part niya, matitigas naman talaga ulo ng mga Pilipino eh.
Oo. O kaya hindi
Parang,
binasa, 'di ba?
oh,
Hindi
I mean, ang hirap kasi na parang mag-point ng fingers. Kasi hindi mo naman sigurado na parang is everyone doing their job? I don't think so. Kasi how can you know for sure?
hmm. Yeah. Tsaka parang sometimes iba yung inintindi mo kaysa dun sa narinig mo lang. Or sometimes you're just operating out of fear, 'di ba? Parang okay, hindi pwedeng lumabas kasi COVID-19, may ganun pero doesn't really understand na well, hindi man kailangan maintindihan to the level nung inexplain mo kanina na you should know the different parts of the virus, do pero at least parang magegets mo kung bakit ginagawa yung rational, kung bakit kailangan mo magstay indoors.
Well, I think um, yung best way of help is to realize na um you have to know within yourself kung paano how can I not be a burden dun sa current crisis na to. How can I help, or paano at least wag mo lang palalain yung situation, like parang nag-break ka ng mga quarantine
Mm.
rules, basically parang you're not doing anything helpful na para ma-contain yung disease.
All right. Ayos. We've covered
Yeah.
ano. We've
By the
covered.
way, kumusta pala yung mga musicians sa sa yesterday you were talking to Gab, right?
Oo.
How are musicians ngayong pandemic? I mean, it's a great opportunity to write.
Yeah, it is. Well, madami ang the thing about musicians kasi is a lot of them are really ang bread and butter nila is the music industry is gigging, mga live gigs,
Uh-huh.
mga ganyan. And kumbaga live shows talaga, working musicians. And right
Uh-huh.
now, obviously sarado ang mga venues, so wala silang trabaho. It's like getting
So,
fired and wala kang
yeah,
ibang
pero
mapupuntahan.
there are a lot of platforms ngayon, social media platforms. Pwede ka naman maggumawa ng video, di
Well,
ba?
yeah,
You can
pero
also reach your audience there.
pero how do you get money? 'Di ba? Parang ang kasi parang madaming magla-live stream pero you can't really rely on that.
I mean,
Pag
it's not something you can gain money immediately after. Parang you have to build up your channel kasi to get enough subscribers ata
yeah,
para
that's
monetize mo.
yeah, that is
Pero
true.
yun nga, yung problem is hindi mo siya makukuha agad-agad.
Yeah. Well, there's also din kasi na hindi naman kasi lahat ng musicians are ano not all musicians are in the same level na parang
Mhm.
let's say if you're let's say banda ka na sikat na. Let's say paro
Yeah,
hindi
that's true.
mayaman na masyado yung sina bawa Ben and Ben ka. I'm sure mayaman na rin sila. Pero pero kumbaga parang
Sobrang yaman.
oh, so pero pag nag-gig sila may manonood talaga sa kanila kasi sikat na sila eh. Pero what if you are let's say
Starting. Yeah, yeah.
a session bassist, 'di ba? Sessionista
Yeah.
ka lang, 'di ba? Tapos when nobody knows you. Parang kasi may mga ganun eh.
It
Uh,
is difficult.
'Di ba? Tapos hindi ka naman maganda, hindi ka naman medyo matanda ka na, 'di ba? Hindi mo alam kung paano mag-live stream sa YouTube. At worst baka wala ka pang internet, 'di ba? So,
Well, I think that's true for most people naman, not just musicians. I mean, I think marami talaga naghahanap ng alternative forms to ways of getting money, getting
yeah.
income. Like, yung maybe you can start a website a show sa Facebook na cooking show tapos binebenta mo yung products mo right after.
Oo nga.
Uh, maraming siguro ways. You just have to be creative enough na isipin kung ano yung need. Adjust ka dun sa current normal.
Yeah. Well, swerte ka kung ano, if you do that and you have the knack for yan, creating shows, online shows. Kasi makikita ka merong ano kahit yung mga sikat na, makikita mo
Mhm.
magla-live stream. Ang pangit nung kumbaga hindi marunong
Ah,
present on screen na, na mukhang sobrang amateur. Kasi nawala yung mga production teams nila eh.
yeah.
Meron nga si ano yung meron ako nakitang video sa Facebook si Wheeler Revillame gumagawa siya ng show online. Siguro ginagawa niya yung mga ano niya, yung shit niya sa TV online. Tapos makikita mo hindi nagsuklay. Alam mo yun, parang parang ano siya eh. Makikita mo
Wala siyang
parang
wala siyang crew.
oo, 'di ba kasi wala yung creative team niya eh. Siguro kung sino mang nag-ayos lang nung live stream niya, yun na yun. And it's not the top guys that he would usually have access to, 'di ba? Ang pinakamagandang live stream na nakita ko, online concert, si Gary V. Grabe, ang
Mhm.
ganda. Ang ganda nung ano ni Gary V, nung stream ni Gary V. Tingnan natin. Kasi he shot the ano eh, he shot it in his studio, yung recording studio niya. And well, ang ganda nung ano niya. Ang ganda nung recording studio ni Gary V. Naku, naghang pa yung abas ko, bad trip. Anyway, so when nung tapos yung audio niya, halatang pinaghandaan. Tapos he had multi-camera setup and ang ganda. When you compare it with other iba big time na rin eh. Yung kay Regine medyo hindi okay yung setup niya pero yung nakikita mo yung production, yung yung choice niya kung saan niya ginawa yung backdrop niya. Hindi
Mhm.
parang parang ano eh, hindi siya halatang I'm sure na syempre nasa bahay siya, 'di ba? I'm sure may mas magandang spot sa bahay niya na mas magandang gawin. Kumbaga hindi maganda yung location na naisip niya. And
Mhm.
sina Regina yon. What more kung yung yung mga regular people, 'di ba? So
Well, mahirap talaga.
oo. At saka ako nga ilang ilang taon na, magto 2 years na ako nagpa-podcast. Ang hirap mag-build ng audience eh.
Yeah.
Ang hirap talaga. And it's frustrating nga at times. Ayan, gusto mo na ulit.
May hugot to ah.
Oo nga eh. Anyway, well, it is what it is. Ganun talaga eh. Ganun talaga yung yung etong live stream game. Tsaka magtataka ka na lang minsan you follow kasi sometimes I look at YouTube, check out which ones are successful na vlogs. Mga
Yeah.
nagkakwenta-kwenta talaga. Makapanood mo eh. Grabe. Tapos, pero yun yung gusto ng mga tao eh. Anong magagawa mo, di
Well,
ba?
I guess you just have to build your audience. Parang gradual talaga yan eh. You can't
Oo.
say kung kailan ka, maybe all you need is one show na talaga mag-boom.
Oo. Online concert. Teka, tingnan natin tong Ito yung the best na nakasan ba yun? I think this one. Yeah, this one. And he raised 2.6 million. 2.6 million kaya mag-raise ng 2.6 million in a live stream. Si Gary Valenciano yan eh. Ang galing din naman kasi talaga. Oops, sorry.
Oh,
Sana naman hanggang dito na lang ang
ganda na studio.
paghihirap.
'Di ba? Ang ganda eh.
Even
Tapos
lahat ng equipment niya, that's the best of the best.
yeah. Alam ko Sennheiser ang sponsor niya dati eh. Titingnan ko yung mic
Mm.
niya eh. Parang hindi naman mukhang hindi naman Sennheiser. Tapos yung mga nag-set up talaga siya kasi multi-camera yung ginagamit niya.
Mhm.
Ayan 'di ba?
At least,
Yeah,
oh ano,
that's how you do it. 'Di ba? Talagang pinag-isipan. Tapos ang ganda ang ganda ng audio. Pero syempre, to be able to pull this off, kailangan may maganda ka munang studio. 'Di ba? 'Di ba?
you also need to have the ability to operate yung studio niyan. Kasi I don't
Yeah.
think may tulong siya dyan.
Meron siyang katulong. Meron siyang
Meron.
merong guy. Swerte siya. He has that guy. Siya daw yung
Mhm.
nag-set up ng mga nung mga audio at saka video na ginamit niya dito. So he's using OBS eh. Ayan, kita ko yung dito itong part na to. That's what he's using to broadcast.
I think next month magkakaroon na tayo ng, I mean, some businesses will start to open. Pero I don't think na bawal pa ata yung mga movies, yung mga
Yeah.
pang-entertainment na pang involving crowds and all that.
Ang pinakang nahasal ako na nang hinayang ako is yung I invited you guys there eh nung kaso hindi pa nag-swak yung schedules natin. Yung busking namin, meron kaming nagsisimula ng mag-thrive yung busking event namin dun sa dun sa food park.
Uh,
Yun ang sobrang namimiss ko. Sayang,
what did
sayang talaga.
what's this busking event?
It's in Mandala Park, in Mandaluyong, Shaw Boulevard. Katabi lang siya ng ng Pure Gold doon.
Uh,
Merong Sunday market doon every Sunday. So
mhm.
this Sunday market, siya, vegan food hub siya. So mga
Okay.
vegans yung pupunta doon. And 'di ba vegan yung namin, yung mga donuts namin.
Yeah.
So nagbebenta kami doon. And then they have this teka, puntahan natin. They have this um big ass PA system. Merong dun eh. Basta meron silang PA doon na ang ganda ng tunog, ganyan laki ng speakers nila. Tapos biglang walang ginagamit, parang nagpe-play lang sila ng MP3s doon. So naisip ko ba, pwede akong mag-ano eh. Si Gab, pumunta na doon yun. Nandun na siya dati. Sabi ko, this would be great kung makakapag-invite ako ng artist. Pero ang naging partner ko doon si Ramiro Mataro. And
Mm.
nung kami, nag-bust for, nag-fundraiser kami doon for Taal nung nagkaroon ng
Mhm.
ng eruption. Tapos eto, pakita ko sa iyo. Ano siya? It's yan, ang sarap ng trip namin diyan. Open air
Uh,
siya. Tapos I invite dito madami akong in-invite dito sa event na to kasi fundraiser 'yan eh. So
yeah.
there were lots of artists who performed. Pero usually kaming dalawa lang ni Ramiro doon. Si
Schedule kasi
Ramiro,
mahirap sa amin eh. I
oo.
mean, we would love to perform sa mga ganyan.
Mm.
Kasi enjoy din naman talaga mag-perform eh. Kaso lang, ngayon wala talagang oras eh.
Oo
Kasi
nga eh.
us being on training, parang it's only parang once every few months na nagkakaroon talaga kami ng time na like yung schedule ni Tin, ako, and Edsel would
Mm.
line up. Tapos parang we have to plan that far ahead.
Yeah.
Tapos all for para lang magkaroon kami ng schedule para sa gig. So I don't think it's gonna work ngayon. Sa studio muna tayo. Maybe
Oo.
produce online footage.
Yeah. Well, I totally understand naman kasi I know what you do naman talaga eh. So,
Mm.
'yun. Pero 'yan talaga. Every Sunday nandiyan kami. Parang that's 'yan yung kasi I don't go out as much as I did before. And
Uh,
'yan yung
ako din.
isang parang 'yan yung parang trip na parang okay, this is parang something cool that we're doing. Tapos it's already picking up eh. At least
Mhm.
that's how I felt. Kasi we're making plans of about it. May kung
Mhm.
ano mga iniisip namin plano of what we can do. Pero at least you guys are still able to are still able to create music. May mga content kayong mga bagong labas eh, di ba?
Yeah, we actually have a new song right now. Still in the process of making that song. Pero it's almost done.
Yeah.
Na-release na siguro namin soon.
Pero grabe, ang ganda ng mga kanta nyo. Ay, 'di ba?
Thank you. Thank you.
I recently actually matagal ko nang gustong gawin 'yun eh na kasi ang tagal kasi mag-edit talaga. Kasi every episode I do, yan, kumbaga sometimes 2 to 3 hours yung yung length ng episode.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine how yung mga magandang na pag-usapan dun sa mga and I could the plan is to clip those segments eh. Tapos i-upload ko separately para
Mm.
mas kasi kahit ako eh pag nakita kong pucha 3 hours to ah. Hindi ko alam kung saang part kung saang part yung maganda, 'di ba?
And you would have to go through everything.
Oo. And sometimes kung hindi ko kilala yung guest, edi ba't ko papanoorin 'yan, 'di ba? Pero if I have a specific segment with specific topic, na pwede kong ilagay sa title, then mas magiging okay. And dun sa Jamcast with artist, gumagawa ako ng mga supercut ang tawag ko eh. So lahat ng performances i-clip ko, and then yun.
Actually, parang the other day lang, nag-shoot kami for, was it the other day? Yeah, I think it was the other day.
Oo.
Nag-shoot kami ng video ng, that's a acoustic version of our first Tagalog song, Dulo.
This one.
Yeah, we did it sa studio ni na Edsel.
So pumunta ka sa kanila? Nakapunta ka?
Yeah.
Oh. Gusto mo pakinggan natin to ngayon?
Sure, sige.
Parang hindi mo maririnig pero maririnig nila.
Okay,
Sige.
sure.
Okay. So let's listen to Ken. Teka, pakita natin. Ano ba yan? Dito sa simula.
That's our first Tagalog song. Yung second na lalabas namin, yung recently natapos lang din, is another Tagalog song. We're doing Tagalogs for now kasi we're also trying to make ourselves known sa Filipino audience natin. Kasi most of our songs kasi English. And although I really get good comments dun sa songs namin yun, naghahanap sila ng Tagalog. So we wanted to, it was a challenge for us at first, pero syempre we wanted to convince ourselves na we can do Tagalog songs just as well as we do our English songs.
Yeah.
So yun.
Teka, patugtugin natin to ha.
Okay.
Dito natin. 1, 2. Okay.
Nagmamadali dahil walang sapat na oras sa ating gabi. Lubos sinasama kita ang iyong mga nagbabagang labi. Mga tingin wala nang kapalit. Di na sana lumisan pa ang panahong ating dalawa. Kung makapiling kita na magkasama ko'y maghihintay. Bumuhos man ang ulan, sumilong ka sa'kin.
ganda. Ang ganda.
Thank you, thank you.
Ang ganda. Ano ibang bumibirit ka dito
Nag-iisip
Kaya nga hirap na hirap
Diba?
ako dyan.
Pero ano
Kasi it's really high song.
Oo nga. Kasi yung usual na
Laid
kanta
back.
mo, 'di ba? Tapos
Mm.
basta yung low notes ang tinitira mo usually, 'di ba?
Yeah, yeah.
Tapos dito, siya bumibirit si Rod
Well, even dun sa next na ewan ko, feeling ko yung mga nahilig sa OPM, mayroon talaga
Mm.
silang hinahanap na certain flavor kumbaga sa
Mm.
music na pag sinabi mong OPM, kailangan may gantong flavor siya. Parang ganun.
Mm.
And yun yung we're trying to add a little bit of that flavor in our music kasi yun nga, we're serving a Filipino audience. So,
Mm.
dahil Tagalog song itong ginagawa natin ngayon, kailangan makaka-relate.
OPM at these times, 'di ba? Merong
Yeah, yeah.
sariling merong sariling parang identity ang OPM right now. Which is
Mhm.
syempre of course we are parang napag-usapan namin to ni Scarlett nung Scarlett of the one and only Scarlett Brown, yung dating putriska ng si
Okay.
Myra Rawaro. Anyway, kasi she's an icon back in the 90s, 'di ba? Yung putriska. Tapos syempre tinanong ko siya what she thinks of the new generation of musicians and yung bagong music. And then syempre well, madami naman talagang sumasagot ng ganito. And also I think ganun din yung yung idea ko. And that is parang iba yung pagmamahal mo dun sa music ng generation mo 'di ba?
Yeah.
Parang kaya yung mga matatanda parang nung panahon namin mas maganda, 'di ba? So when the Beatles were new, 'di ba? Which is right now talaga wow, Beatles, sambahin ng Beatles, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Pero yung generations prior to the Beatles, parang they were criticizing the band as parang walang kwenta. Parang siguro tingin nila parang Justin Bieber ang Beatles dati, 'di ba? So pero yun. So right now, one thing that's different in this new generation of OPM artists is that back then, parang may segregation sa mga genres Parang, let's say, in a gig, featuring, let's say, Wolfgang or Eraserheads, parang hindi ka pwedeng biglang mag-expect ka na merong South Border, 'di ba? O kaya freestyle, 'di ba? So parang it's gonna be weird. Hindi ka makakahanap ng gigs na ganun. Unlike right now, merong bawal, let's say Evidancel, pwedeng may Ken 'di ba? Pwedeng
Well, on that note, wait lang. First, I just like to give a shout out to Nico and Jingy. They're here.
okay.
So what's up,
Hi
guys?
guys.
So on that note, Chelsea Joyce, she's also here,
Mhm.
literally. Anyway, going back to my point, uh, yung mga ibang genres, sa mga gigs, we still do genre segregation para to some point may order naman dun sa gig. Hindi siya parang themed yung gig natin, hindi siya yung jumble na lang, parang hindi
Yeah.
naman yung iba po baka metal tapos biglang K-pop yung next, parang gano'n. So we still try to um, arrange kung possible yung mga genres, pero ngayon kasi there are a lot of yung OPM, ang dami ng influences. Like may mga OPM artists na ang influence nila parang, let's say, parang some like Katy Perry, some like parang may konting R&B na yung dating. May mga ibang parang heavily pop, may mga iba parang medyo funky yung dating. So basically, na-reinvent na rin yung OPM, or parang nagkakaroon siya ng addition ng, kumbaga, kung yung panlasa ng mga millennials, kumbaga.
Mhm.
Kasi yung mga bata ngayon, they have their own, kasi I can see nakikita ko yung mga ibang yung mga batang teens na musicians, ang gagaling na. They even produce their own music, 'di ba?
Oo.
Kasi
Wow.
teki yung mga ngayon eh.
Mm.
I believe we're also part of the generation yung
Huh.
naging yung parang ni-learn na lang yung kasi we were never formally educated sa music. Parang
Mhm.
lahat to was purely our part of our hobbies na parang mag-experiment lang with new sounds, new instruments. I-try natin tong pattern na to. And that's how we evolved as a band din. Dahil because of having that particular influence of us, yung mga kanta na narinig natin through the 90s, nung kabataan namin, through our high school days, yung
Mhm.
mga uh, yung mga um, icons ng OPM ngayon, like let's say River Maya,
Mhm.
Bamboo, Hail, yung mga yan. Those have
Mhm.
influences on us as artists din. Kasi sila yung nag-pave ng diba, baseline natin kung what OPM music is.
Mhm.
So from
Yeah.
there we try to incorporate our own influences dun sa particular baseline.
Yeah. Well, I suppose siguro um right now kasi walang mainstream na mga metal ngayon eh, 'di ba?
Yeah, yeah.
Isa yung at least wala akong hindi wala ako. Kung
You're
mainstream
not
sila
aware.
dapat kilala ko sila. The fact na wala akong kilalang metal na banda, I would say hindi pa sila ganun ka mainstream kung meron man. So
Mhm.
kung so so I think so mas madali sigurong mag-mix ng mga current artists right now. Kasi tama ka nga naman. So kung K-pop yung K-pop-ish or yung let's say tamang ano ba? Parang ngayon ang pinaka mga mabibigat na artists or ano eh. Parang yung
Ganun
mga
ba?
Four of Spades of, Four of
Ben and
Spades
Ben.
ba? O Ben and Ben mabigat na ba 'yan?
Yeah.
Oh, siguro yung mga ganun na, 'di ba? So wala akong maisip. Siguro yun na nga yun. O kaya yung December Avenue, yung mga ganun.
Yeah, sila.
'Di
Those
ba?
are mainstream artists. Kasi I think the whole concept of mainstream is it has to be music that you can find relatable to most people. So
Mm.
kung um, like hindi naman, I wouldn't say majority ng population nakikinig ng metal.
Oo.
So the reason kung bakit hindi siya or tinatawag na underground siya is because hindi siya magkakaroon ng appeal on the major So I guess it just has to be something na pleasing siguro sa lahat, or maybe it at least relatable sa lahat.
Well, there siguro meron kasing time nung panahon ng Wolfgang, kuha nila yung lahat ng markets eh. Kasi if you compare Wolfgang to let's say another band na mas pangmasa, let's say ano ba? Shackle, yung mga ganyan. O kaya kahit parokya ni Edgar, 'di ba?
Yeah,
Ano
but
pa?
the thing is, how many bands yung ka-level ng Wolfgang at that time? Konti lang compared sa
Oh,
ngayon na so dami nag-emerge.
yeah,
So
yeah.
diversity is also a factor, I would presume.
Well, that's true. Well, my point is parang captured Wolfgang was able to capture, although primarily men, mga males
Yeah.
yung 'di ba? Kasi rock 'yun eh. Heavy metal yung kanila eh. Ah, basta metal at least. Tapos kuha nila yung mga AB crowd, pati yung mga so from Ayala Alabang hanggang Tondo, kilala sila, 'di ba?
Mm.
At least they were able to accomplish that. So anyway, siguro dadating din yung oras kasi babalik lang naman yung mga trends eh. And maybe I don't know. I'm more of an alternative guy naman din anyway. So more on sa OPM siguro, Eraserheads, River Maya talaga yung ano ko eh. Yung mga yung genre na nagustuhan ko talaga.
Comfortable sa'yo. Mm.
Oo. Gusto ko kasi yung nakakanta ko eh. At saka naiintindihan ko yung sinasabi. Kaya hindi ko masyadong trip yung ano eh. Although I appreciate the musicality, yung mga slap shock. Pero
Yeah.
minsan hindi ko maintindihan ang sinasabi. It's hard to relate when kasi I'm a lyrics guy eh. Kailangan maintindihan ko. What if ang sinasabi mo pala something that I don't agree? 'Di ba? Kasi sometimes I would nangyayari ba sa yun? Parang you would hear a tune and it's catchy pa, maganda yun ah. Tapos later on parang you listen to it closely. Tapos biglang yun pala yung sinasabi niya. Tapos parang ayoko na ito. 'Di ba? Kasi parang putya, hindi naman ganun yun eh.
Well,
Anyway.
that's true. Hindi kasi you don't normally memorize or get the meaning of the song. Dun sa first time na pinapakinggan mo siya, you have to listen to it again to really appreciate what the song is all about.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for most songs. Like, parang first we filter kung ano yung pleasing sa tenga natin. Like, if the tune is catchy, acceptable ba to sa panlasa natin.
Mhm.
Then, later on, if doon mo na talaga makikita yung real value ng song when you parang break it down into its parts, tapos makikita mo talaga yung real meaning ng song. And once you understand that, I guess, masasabi mo na-digest mo na talaga yung what the song is really about. Parang ganun.
So aside from kasi may mga releases pa kayo eh. Isang bagong yung na-rediscover ko na kanta nyo, na favorite ko ngayon yung tawag din. Sinabi ko sa kanina, ano nga ba? Strip Me Down. Oo.
Mm.
Hindi nyo pa nare-release yun, di ba? Tapos meron pa
Right.
kayong mas naunang ni-release. So, madami pa bang bala ang Ken na ilalabas? Kasi guys, if you're watching, check out Ken on Spotify. And also check out their supercut dun sa TPKP page. Kasi basta I'm very proud na you did the Jamcast last year.
Thank
Kasi
you.
sobrang kasi papakinggan mo eh. At saka iba yung version I got to record a different version of your songs on
Yes.
Jamcast, 'di ba? Kasi usually anong tawag niyo sa genre niyo? Pop synth?
Synth pop, yes.
Synth pop. Yung sa amin, yung ginawa nilang version dun sa Jamcast or
Acoustics.
different acoustic
Yeah.
yung versions doon and may ibang may ibang what do you call this? May ibang charisma din talaga pag acoustic. Anyway, so madami pa ba kayong mga tracks na i-release?
Yes, we are we have a couple of songs in line na to release. Tapos we're just figuring out the right time kung kailan siya i-release, pero we're saving some of our like some of the songs that we have really high hopes on.
Talaga.
We're trying to save a little of those. And yes, nagsusulat pa rin naman kami, so yeah. Watch out for more.
Ilang pag nagre-release kayo mga mga singles na lang.
We usually release sometimes we release by single, sometimes we do back-to-backs. The most now we've released I think is 3 songs at once. Sinabay-sabay namin yun. Kasi we really had a lot of songs on hand that and we really wanted it out already, so yun. Now we're still writing new content. Gumagawa pa rin naman kami ng we're still figuring it out. We're still figuring out kung ano yung best way to share this song kung kasi some of the songs yung parang akala namin this is the final na, tapos pakinggan namin parang mas maganda if we did this, so some of the songs we purposely delay kung kailan namin siya release kasi sometimes we save it out para ma-edit namin at the last part before releasing.
Cool. Who writes the song primarily?
Lahat kami actually we write our lahat kami nagko-contribute to writing.
In every song merong parts na you
as much as possible Example, if ako yung nagsulat ng song, I also ask yung input nilang dalawa ko. Okay,
Mhm.
guys, okay ba kayo dito sa lyrics na to? Do you want to change anything? Yan.
Mhm.
So, I try to ask din kung ano yung meron sa kanila. Likewise, ganun din kung sila nagsulat. Sinasend nila, oh, what do you think? So,
Oh,
yan. It's
awesome.
everyone's creative part
Who who
from the
uh
song.
who mixes the tracks?
That's primarily Edsel's job. Yun talaga yung,
Oh,
kasi he's also our producer. So, Edsel is also our producer, sound engineer. And ginagawa namin yung tracks sa studio nila.
hmm.
Tin and Edsel Studio.
May studio ka rin sa bahay ba? Do you have
Me,
your own?
no. Ako, I don't have my own studio. We record all tracks dun sa kanila.
Oh, awesome. Baka yung nakita kong video, baka nandun ka sa kanila.
Yeah.
I see. All right. So there, guys, check out Ken on Spotify and YouTube and Facebook. Basta so
Super checking us out.
I have basta you just need to listen to them. Hindi ko na kailangang i-hype pa lalo. Kasi one of the best artists that I've guested and great songs. Yun yung pinakang ano ko eh. Kasi madami namang magaling eh. Madaming magaling kumanta, madaming magaling mag-perform. Pero iba yung galing mong magsulat and you can perform it as well. Na maganda pa rin yung kakalabsan. And I think you got it both. Great songwriting and great execution,
Thank you.
creativity. Nag-jump from different styles, versatility. Yung kumbaga as an artist. Check out Ken, guys. So yun, Doc.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thank you.
Maraming salamat sa oras mo for tonight
Thank you
pala.
very much.
And
Yeah.
thanks for your service.
No problem, no problem.
Thanks for your service to
As I said, it's a pleasure. Privilege din namin yan.
yes.
Anyway, thank you, man. And keep safe. Um, sana magkaroon ka pa ng additional. Anyway, guys, those who are following Ken, also check out the Powerful Comics Man podcast with Gerald. And see you guys soon. Bye.
Yes. Thank you, thank you. Stay safe, man. Magkikita ba
Okay, you
tayo?
too.
Magkikita tayo
Yeah, for sure.
after this let's tuloy natin yung mga plans.
All right.
All right. There you
Okay,
go.
bye.
Rod Babaran, Powerful Comics Man podcast. Signing off. Bye.